down the house of God, bring down the house of... Wait, what? Alright, grade. Alright. Hi, people. I am reading a script, which I'm gonna regret later. So yeah, make fun of me later when I'm done. So I'm going to be talking about the emerald ash borer. Sounds fancy, right? Well, it's really just a glittery bug. Have a picture of how it looks like, just to prove my point. Now then, let's get on to how they originated. Or at least that's what I think I'm supposed to be talking about. I'm gonna get a bad grade, aren't I? So, what's an invasive species? Well, you wouldn't be watching this if I wasn't going to tell you. An invasive species is a species of any sort that somehow ends up somewhere and overtakes the area, which makes a negative sort of impact wherever they are. Most of the time, they affect the ecosystem greatly. Now let's talk about the biodiversity, since it's also important to our ecosystem. Biodiversity is basically a fancy way of saying different ecosystems, whether it be the desert, the rainforest, or even a simple forest. These are all examples of biodiversity. Now let's get to how our glittery little friends got here. Now that we've covered how they got here with their glittery little bums, we need to find out how their relationships are with the other species that live there. So then, allow me to explain what and who exactly our pals affect. So for starters, emerald ash borers affect bugs like beetles, butterflies, moths, and more that I'm not going to be bothered to tell you, because that's a lot. They also just so happen to affect ashwood, which is essential to all those bugs I mentioned. Sounds kinda like an unwanted roommate. Thankfully, they get eaten by woodpeckers. If it weren't for them, these little buggers would keep eating wood. Now let's discuss how they affect our biodiversity, which is important. Emerald ash borers, as I said, eat ash wood. And what happens to the wood? Well, it dies. And what happens to the bugs that live there? They die too. It's a cycle of death. Sounds depressing. So let's move on to the solutions to get rid of our sparkly pals. So how do we fix the problem? Well, people drench the soil around the trees with diluted insecticide, which is really just a fancy way of saying bug killer. Really. It kills the bugs as they eat on the trees, since the roots suck that stuff right up. And so, that keeps them nice and small in population. Now, let me tell you what I would use to fix the problem. Bug killer works just fine. But what about the ones that survived? I let a bunch of the emerald ash borer's predators out and let them eat them. It's a win-win. The birds eat, and the trees live. And that's the end. Congratulations to you for making it this far. Or maybe you skipped to the end. I don't really know or care. Anyways, thank you for sticking through the explanation of emerald ash borers. I'll see you later. Back to wasting money on a cookie game.